Is Lilith a part of a closed practice? Does Lilith hate men? How do you start working with Lilith? And will you go to hell if you start working with Lilith? These are just a few of the common questions I get regarding Lilith. So today I'm going to be answering these and a few others. Hi, lovely witch. My name is Rosa. I'm the Divine Feminine Witch, and I help witches feel empowered through working with the goddess. And today we are going to be talking about my matron goddess, Mother Lilith. I have been working with Lilith for quite a few years now, and she is very much integrated into my everyday life. I share a lot of content on Lilith, especially on Instagram and TikTok, and so I constantly get questions regarding her. I'm always happy to answer these questions, but I have noticed a few common questions that I continuously get. Of course, I'm still going to continue answering your questions in the comments, but I figured I'd also do a whole video on them and expand on what I think about each of these questions. And that way, if you are ready to start working with Lilith, or if you are considering working with her, then this would be a great dive into getting to know Lilith and deciding for yourself if she is in fact the deity for you. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. So let's get into it. Is Lilith a closed practice? I think this comes from the fact that her most commonly known mythology is of Judaic religion and folklore. However, Lilith is much older than Judaism. I have a whole series that I did on TikTok and Instagram where I shared all of her mythology, starting with Judaism, but then I kind of went back into her earliest mythology. That way you can understand that she is much more complex and much more diverse than what the general media tends to portray her as. To this day, I still get some very dogmatic people in my comments claiming that I should not be working with Lilith, or that I should not be sharing information on Lilith because she is a closed practice. You can believe whatever you want and you can do your own research and decide for yourself. But me and a lot of other Lilith devotees strongly believe that she is not of a closed practice. How do you start working with Lilith? Like with anything else, you want to start off with research. Figure out what Lilith is associated with and what she can help you with, and that is going to be based off of her mythology. Once you figure out why you feel called to work with her, what you feel she can help you with, then you may start preparing to call out to her. When you call out to her, you want to get into a meditative state. Try and meditate for a moment, or do a grounding ritual, or something that's going to help you get more in tune with your intuition. You can call out to her out loud or in your mind. You simply say her name and tell her that you are reaching out and that you would like to connect with her. Tell her who you are and tell her why you want to work with her. When you do this, you may feel an energy shift. You may see or feel things. And this is really going to depend on how tuned into your psychic senses you are, as well as your intuition. Those are the things that are going to help you recognize that there is an energy shift, or that she is present in your area, that she is coming and that she is hearing your call and acknowledging you. You may not feel anything at all, and that is okay. That just may mean that you need to take some time to strengthen your intuition, to trust your inner knowing. But you want to make sure that when you do call out to her, you introduce yourself and you tell her why it is you are interested in working with her. Why do you want to build a connection with her? At this moment, you may even ask her to send you some kind of sign or symbolism to know if she does want to work with you. You can be specific and tell her to send you a specific angel number or a specific animal, and then be observant in your everyday life and in your dreams. You may encounter messages from her or some kind of symbolism that is confirming that she is there. Create a ritualistic time set to specifically connect with her. This could be be once a week or once a month. And during this time, you may want to form some kind of specific way to connect with her. This could be just through meditation, although that may be a little bit difficult to understand messaging from her. So you may also want to include some kind of divination and journaling. Over time, you may want to create a sacred space or an altar dedicated to her. This doesn't have to be intricate. My first altar to Lilith was literally a candle and a couple of symbolisms that I felt represented her. And over time, you can build on it. You can incorporate any things that you feel symbolize her or your connection to her. You may also want to present offerings, but that should come naturally to you. Don't feel forced to do anything that doesn't feel right to you. Please also stay grounded. At this point in my life and my spiritual journey, I have encountered several stories where people have said that they are sexually or romantically involved with deities. And this definitely concerns me. This is walking into the line of spiritual psychosis. Please respect deities. They are spiritual beings, not your romantic partners. How do you know if she's the right deity for you? What can she help you with? In astrology, Lilith represents our shadow self. The black moon Lilith is probably the most commonly known one, but there are actually several other points that are associated with Lilith, and all of them are associated with your shadow self. Looking at your black moon Lilith can help you understand what kind of connection you will have with her and what she can help you with. Yes, working with Lilith involves a lot of shadow work, and this is also why I've started providing a Lilithian reading. My Lilithian reading includes diving into your black moon Lilith, the aspects it makes to other planets in your chart, and how that affects you, as well as a tarot reading from Mother Lilith. Yeah, that was a little bit of a self plug-in right there, but a lot of people don't know that I provide this service. Sometimes I have it unavailable on my website because it is a very in-depth reading. It takes a lot of time, so I only offer a few readings a month, but every first of the month I do reopen them, so feel free to check that out. As far as what she can help you with is also going to be based off of her mythology. Lilith is a liberator. She helps you stand your ground and demand that your boundaries are respected. She helps you embrace your dark, wild self. She helps you empower yourself. She helps you not be afraid to be your most authentic, spiritually and sexually sovereign self. She can be intense. She usually comes with a strong energy. And this brings me to my next point: is Mother Lilith mean? I have gotten this question pretty often, and I get it. I wouldn't say she's mean though. She has a strong energy. She has a strong presence. You feel when she is in the room with you. You feel her protection and her guidance. Can men work with Lilith? And this is also in conjunction with, does Lilith hate men? And that is actually a very common misconception. Lilith does not hate men. I know plenty of male practitioners that work with Lilith. Lilith hates disrespect and misogyny and the patriarchy. She hates oppressors, and she really has a problem with seeing people stay small and not stand in their power. And that's why she comes to us with an intense energy too, is because she really wants you to just stand up for yourself because you deserve better. Do you need a specific ritual to work with Lilith or to commune with her? No. That one is pretty simple, and I think the reason why people feel like there has to be structure and rules is because they come from a religious background where they were told that everything has to be done a specific way. But especially with anything neo-paganism, it's very much up to you and what feels right to you. There are no rules to any of this. Don't feel like you are doing things wrong. Just as long as you remember to respect the deities that you are connecting with. What are good offerings for her? This goes back to saying that do what feels right to you, and there are no rules to this. But if you really aren't sure, you can look at her mythology and her symbolism and base it off of that. Anything related to snakes, owls, bats, cats, even, those can all be good offerings for her. For example, I found this owl statue at a thrift store once and I absolutely loved it, so I got it for her. I also made her a candle once. It kind of looks black in the video, but it's like a maroon color. It's mixed red and purple. It was actually really fun to do this candle. I did it at a candle making event. I'm no expert in candle making, okay? Roses are a really good offering for her. Chocolate, like dark chocolates, anything musky scented is really good. Wine, whiskey. If you're somebody who is on a budget and doesn't feel like you could be spending a lot for your deities, don't feel like you need to spend a lot. Trust me, especially Lilith, she likes more acts of service, and acts that show that you are improving on yourself, because that is what she really wants to see. Gifts are kind of minimal to her, but you can also simply offer her water. Any of your deities, you can offer them water. That is always a great thing. Any kind of food that you have. If you have only one apple and you are eating it for yourself, cut out just a small piece of it, and that would be a great offering for her. Incense like sandalwood and myrrh are really great as well. You could even also draw her something or paint her something. I did a painting. I don't know if you can see it back there, the little pomegranate. Acts of service would include things like dancing or yoga, because those are also things that can benefit you. And so those would be really great offerings for her. You can look at what other people give her as offerings as a form of inspiration, but I think there's something really special about giving her something that symbolizes something important to you. I actually got this necklace for her way before I got the statue for her. I'm trying to show you. This is available in my website, so feel free to check that out. That would be a great offering for her as well. Will she get mad at me if XYZ? Feel free to fill in the blank. This goes back to that need to deconstruct from religions that have made you believe that there is a certain way to do things, especially with Christianity and how they talk about God punishing you for either not praising him enough or not worshiping him enough. If you need to take time off from your spiritual practice or from connecting with your deities, and especially Lilith, you do not need to feel any kind of guilt or remorse. It is totally okay to take some time to just go inward and take care of your mental and emotional health, or whatever your situation may be. You should only want to connect with your deities when it feels right to you, because if you're not, then you're just doing something forced, and I feel like you're not going to really benefit from the work that you are trying to do. Personally, ever since I started working with Venus, she has been more in my everyday life, in my everyday practices, and Lilith has been there more for my activism work specifically, as well as for shadow work. Sometimes when I'm doing tarot, I'll ask her if there's any message that she needs to give me, and she doesn't. I mean, there has been a time every now and then that she does give me a message, but as of lately, she hasn't really been needing to give me any specific messages, which to me doesn't feel like she's not interested in working with me anymore. It just feels more like I am on the right path and I am doing what I am supposed to. Will I go to hell if I work with Lilith? I was actually surprised the first time I got this question, and I am still taken aback every time that I see see it. This is coming from that need to deconstruct from Christianity and other religions like it. The Christian views on hell are not the only views on hell. Many people believe in different forms of hell. Some people believe in an underworld, which is viewed very differently. Lilith is an infernal, and all infernals are either demons or of the like. Lilith is called Mother of Demons for a reason. If you look at that mythology where she is described to be fornicating with demons and of the like, I honestly think that that story is an exaggeration and basically saying that she was out doing wild things with pagans because pagans are demonized in the Christian realm. But, anyways, that's just my personal take on that whole story. Aside from that, my personal belief in hell is that heaven and hell are within you, and you get to decide if you are living in your hell or if you are living in your heaven. I'm also curious, now that we're on this topic, what are your personal beliefs on heaven and hell? I remember when I was in Catholicism and they were explaining to us what heaven was like and what hell was like, I thought it was very silly. I honestly could not believe in it. Are there any books that I recommend on Lilith? So, for the most part, especially when I first started looking up books on Lilith, I have noticed that there are a lot of male authors that depict her in a very specific, almost sexual kind of way, or more like using her for their benefit. And I didn't necessarily like the style of their writing or how they depicted her. Even though they claimed to be devotees of Lilith, it still felt very off. There has only been one book by a male practitioner that I have personally loved, and that is The Glam Witch by Michael Herkes. I only have the ebook version, but if I can, I'll pop it somewhere in the video so you can see what it looks like. It is all about Mother Lilith, and I love that he dives into not only her mythology but also her connection to astrology, and he has curated this whole practice of how he likes to work with her, and I absolutely love it. It's a very fascinating read. I'm going to try and cover it up to keep it decent for this video. But this is the Book of Lilith by Barbara Black Coltive. This book is absolutely fascinating. It does dive into the psychological view of Lilith and her archetype based off of her mythology. Honestly, do recommend everyone to check out that book. And while we're here, my book, Embodying Lilith, is currently unavailable. I have had a few of you ask me why it's unavailable or where you can get it. At the moment, it isn't available anywhere. I am currently working on a volume 2. This book was originally supposed to just be an ebook, and I was very excited when I released it. And everybody, so many people kept telling me that they wanted a physical copy. And I didn't know anything about making actual books or self publishing, but I felt it was a good idea, and so I did it. However, now that I do have more experience with self publishing, I would like to remake this book, make it even better, make it even bigger, and contain a lot more information for you. And so that is what I'm currently working on. I do not have a release date yet, but I will let you know once it is published. You can sign up for my newsletter on my website so that you can be one of the first people to know when it is published. All right, that is all I have for you today. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions on Mother Lilith, or if you would like me to expand on any of these topics. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to share this with somebody you think might find it helpful. Have a blessed day, lovely witch.